So what we're going to do what we're going to do is that I'm going to add an alert because we don't like this console.log whatever. So I'm going to add an alert in our card body, so it's going to appear here. Right, I'm going to add two alerts. One alert danger and one alert success, which are these are all bootstrap classes. So and then inside alert danger I'm going to say couldn't sign you in, or let me say something user friendly. Sorry, couldn't sign you in. Sorry. And then I see great for success. You've been signed in. Right. And save that. And I'm going to give this an ID of alert danger because we are going to be using it in our JavaScript later. And then ID of alert success. Save that. So what we are basically going to do is that we don't want these alerts to show all the time. We want them to show based on the response that returns from the server. So when you reload your page, you are going to see that they are already showing. So we are going to use CSS to just take them off. Typo there. So display. Refresh the page and they are not there. Right. So we are going to take them to JavaScript and say alert success is equal to document.get element by ID alert success double C. And then I'm going to take this alert danger document.get element by ID alert danger. Yes. So we want alert danger and alert success to display instead of our console.log. So yeah, okay. So yeah, that was one of my lectures. So we're going to see that in our onload callback, which is going to run when this when after sending is going to return the results from the server, and our onload function is going to handle that. So instead of console.log signed in, we are going to say we are going to create a function called display alert. So function display alert, and display alert is going to take in an alert object, right? And it's going to say that that alert object should be displayed so you're going to give it a style of display block like we do in CSS. So based on whichever alert we pass in, it's going to alter its style display property and make it show. Yes. So we are going to say that display alert should show the alert success if we have a 1 from our server. I keep typing 1C. Okay. We are going to do the same for the danger. So we see that alert danger should display, right? So we'll see that and then we'll check how it looks. So reload the page. I have information in my phone, so I submit it and bam, it's there. Let's take one field out. Okay, sorry, couldn't sign you in. Yes, just like how you want it. So it happens really fast. Everything is happening really fast, and I just want to demonstrate how nice or how AJAX impacts our UI as a side something to what we are learning about Ajax. Just want to see how it impacts our UI. So we're actually going to make it look like a real asynchronous call where we make the call and we have to wait for a while for the results to come. So it wouldn't be that instant. So we are going to use the set timeout function that JavaScript provides. Set timeout. And set timeout takes three arguments. First, the handler. The second one is the timeout, and the third one is the arguments that are going to be supplied to the handler. Right. So so I'd say that so as I was saying, so we are going to pass the first argument into our set timeout function, display alert, and the second argument is going to be the number of seconds to wait before the handler is called. So you are going to say 3000 for 3 seconds. And the third is the argument, right? Any arguments that we want to pass into our handler. So we are going to pass our alert success because our display alert function takes in an alert object, right? So this is going to wait for 3 seconds before displaying this alert object. So we are going to do the same thing for the alert danger, same thing, and we are just going to change here to alert danger. So what is going to happen is that when my result comes in my browser, it's going to wait for 3 seconds and then show my alert. So in that 3 seconds we are going to choose to put our loading icon there so that it has that asynchronous feel, and we see how it would be if it was running on a live server, right? So what we are going to do next is that we are going to design a loading icon. So I'm going into my index.html and I'm going to create a div with a class loading icon, and I'm using emit, so I can just do that. Yeah, if you are not using emit, sorry for you. Yes, so I'm going to style my loading icon, so just type the following CSS rules as I do. So we are going to give it a width of 20 pixels, a height of 20 pixels. We are going to give it a border of 1 pixel. Let's make it 2 pixel, 2 pixel solid EEE. Yes, and we are going to give it a margin bottom of 10 pixel so that it doesn't touch the input below it. So I'm just going to reload this page, and as you can see here, we have our incomplete loading icon, and we are going to do something. We are going to give this loading icon a border top of 2 pixels solid typo there, 2 pixels solid AAA. AA stands out, it's a darker color, yes, just like this. And then we are going to make it a circle. So border radius of 100%. Let's save that and refresh, and we can see it here. So the last thing for us to do is to animate our loading icon. But before that, I think we are going to place it in the middle. So we are going to give it a margin 002. And please remember to do it before the margin bottom. Otherwise, it won't center. So we have our loading icon in the middle. Yes, we have our loading icon in the middle. And we are going to add our animation. So we are going to the last view we are going to add is animation loading animation. We are saying each cycle of the loading animation should be should last for half a second, so 0.5 seconds, and it should continue forever, so infinite. And it should be a linear animation. It shouldn't be an easing out animation, like goes starts quickly and then slows down at the end, starts quickly, and no, we don't want that one. So I'm just going to use a linear animation. We are going to define our keyframes. We are going to define our loading animation keyframe using the at keyframes loading animation selector, and we are simply going to say that it's going to start from a trans. It's going to start from a two-dimensional transformation of 0 degrees. So basically, the whole. I'm going to remove the border radius so that we see what I'm talking about. So it's going to start from a transformation of 0 degrees to 360 degrees. So transform, yes. Type of there. So let me just reload the page and we see what is happening. So you can see that we have a box that is rotating, right? And you can see that border top there rotating. So you can see what we are trying to drive at. So we are going to bring back our border radius, and then we can have our loading icon. So I'll save this and refresh, and we have our loading icon loading there as if it's getting some data from somewhere, but it's not doing anything. Yeah. So what we want to happen is that we don't want this to show all the time. We only want it to show when we have data being requested from the server. So we are going to hide it using one last CS rule. Display none, and then save it. So no loading icon anymore. So now we are going to let's make this a hash so that we can easily get it. So we are going to change here to ID. We can easily get it through JavaScript. So I'm going to get my loading icon so that we can work with it. So loading icon equals document dot get element by ID loading hyphen icon. So what we want to do now is that when the submit button is clicked, our loading icon should show. When the response returns from the server, our loading icon should be cleared for our alert to be shown. So that is what we want to do. So I mentioned before that our onload callback, our onload method on the XHR objects is what is called whenever the server sends back a response. So what we want to do is that in our display alert function, we just want to say that when the alert is about to be displayed, loading icon should also be removed from the screen. You understand? So whether it's a success or a danger, or it didn't succeed, we are going to take out the loading icon and show the alert. But we've not even showed our loading icon yet. So we can show our loading icon. Just copy this line, right? We can show our loading icon we can show it at the beginning of the function or anywhere else, but it should be in this make AJAX call so that when I click, it fires off and the loading icon starts. So I'm just going to put it right after the open so that we know that when a post request has been opened, an AJAX request has been opened, then we kick off the loading icon, right? So I'm going to paste this here and I'll make this block. Now save it. Right. So let's go to our callback, make AJAX callback. So it's going to make our query string so that we can send it to the server. It's going to stop the form from submitting, but I think let's put this under so that it makes sense a little. At least it makes sense when we are reading it. So I'll comment this and say prevent our form from submitting and refreshing the page. And then we are going to say prepare our post data string, and then we'll make our AJAX call. We'll open a new XML HTTP request object. We'll create a new XML HTTP request object, open the request as a post request, set it to true so that we know that we are making an asynchronous request. Show the loading icon. So show the loading icon, and then we'll say we'll register our callback to handle responses from the server, right? And then the last two lines we will set our headers and send the request, right? So actually what's going to happen is that this is going to happen after this has happened, right? This is just a function definition. So all this will run, this will send, and then whenever I receive data, this is going to run. So just save everything and let's test it out in our browser. So we reload the page, and then we'll leave the form field data and log in and see what happens. So we have our loading icon, and then it says what, great, you've been signed in. But there's a problem, we are getting undefined in our console. So let's check out why are we getting undefined. Okay, so I moved our data string line below, so it's logging data before we are setting data. So let's just remove this from here and place it under this, right? So we reload the page. This time we will not provide any values in the field and send it. We have our loading icon, and it brings back our response that's sorry, couldn't sign you in. So this is I think this is a very wonderful example of how to make an AJAX request, and I've included a practical example. That's our login form with a very nice loading icon. So we've really done, I feel we've done a lot. We've done something nice, something practical that we can use to demonstrate AJAX, and all this happened without we reloading the page, you see. So that's simply all AJAX is about. AJAX is asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Now we say it's XML because we say XML, JavaScript and XML because in the first implementation of AJAX, our login scripts, let me just open our login scripts. For this example, our login script is just returning a string, but ideally we want to return a document. That's an XML document which is structured and gives us information on data from that, the data that's returned from the server and all that. So that's why we have the XML there. But later on, or in this current era, we normally use a JSON document, but we still call it AJAX because it has come to stay. Yeah. So AJAX is simply a method of loading stuff from the server asynchronously without refreshing the whole page, and it's really cool because it prevents us from having to deal with the overload of refreshing the whole page when we just want to get something new or we just want to get updates, and it's very cool. So there are some last things that I would like to talk about. That's the onReady state callback. So the onReady state callback is similar to the onload callback, but the onReady state change callback, right, actually allows us to monitor certain breakpoints when making the XHR requests or the XML HTTP requests. So the onload function is called, as I said, when everything has run and we've gotten data from the server. But with onReady state change callback, you can actually monitor when the XHR was opened, as it's submitting the progress. There are actually 4 stages or so. So let me just open that document. So we have 5, that's 0 to 4, based on the code it uses. So we say that if the onReady state change or the ready states, so let me just write a code example and we'll just try and do it. So we say xhr.onReady state change is equal to function, and we are going to say if xhr.ready state. So the ready state is the code that we are seeing here. These are the ready states, the codes that define the ready states. So 0 means not started, 1 means connection established with the server, 2 means request received, 3 means processing request, and 4 means request and finished and ready. So our onload callback is actually an onReady state change with a response code of 4, right, or a ready state of 4, right. So it skips all these steps and then just onload simply just checks when the request is finished and runs. But with ready state, we can actually monitor when it's not started, connection established, and all this. And I'm just going to print that out. So I'll say if it's 0, or let me just use a loop. So for ready state equals 0, so no, let me just say ready. For a var ready equals 0, ready is less than or equal to ready state, xhr.ready state, ready plus plus. We say that console.log shr dot. Okay, so I think I'm writing this wrong. So we say console.log shr.ready state. So we want to see at which different ready states it is at every point in time. So let's go to our browser and open up our inspect element side, reload the page, and make the request. So you see we have 2, 3, 4, right? So when the request was received or made, it logged. When it was processed, it logged. When it was finished, it logged. Everything was there. You can see that we can use it to monitor different breakpoints in the request receive cycle, right? So that's something simple about onReady state function. Yeah. So this is AJAX as a whole, or basically, yes, this is AJAX basically. And if you have any questions, you can just leave them in the comments section, and I'll answer them promptly. And if you feel that there is something I can do better to improve this tutorial, just leave it in the comment section. So thank you very much, and thank you for following this tutorial. See you next time. Bye.